All right, welcome back to our series on trend lines. This is part two. Last time around, we were able to get a hold of our graph and a trend line on top of it. Now we're gonna put up generic months instead of these specific years. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and create a new uh, set of months right here. I'm gonna say September, October, November. Now I don't have to worry about the rest of them. Excel is gonna identify that I'm writing months, and I'm just gonna hold from bottom right when my cursor is black and drag it all the way down. So then I have all of these months. They're the same as these. In some versions of Excel, these also show up as the 24th day of the September month rather than September of 2024. So different Excel versions might show up differently. So it's always a good idea to kind of work with generic months. How do I bring this in on my axis? A simple way is to kind of just notice that I have these colored up, right? So the axis is right here. I could just simply drag this here, change my axis straight away. So that's like an easier way to do it, a smarter way to do it. But if you want to be very particular about it, you could always right click your um line plot, go to select data, and then this is the amount variable. This is what we plotted. Uh, and this is the horizontal category for it, right? So these were the months. You could edit the horizontal axis. This is the horizontal axis, the x-axis. You could edit this, choose this new range, hit OK. Oh, by the way, I can't see OK and cancel for me as well for some reason. It's not, it's probably something with Excel needing to update, or I don't know, but do not be confused. I believe this is the OK button. Yeah. So yeah, so I do see the graph, the x-axis being updated, right? So here's where we are then. We've got our axis updated, we've got the original data, we've got the trend line. But let's just fix the name of this data. Let's not call it amount, let's just call it uh, pre-solar data. I'm gonna again right click, select data. Instead of amount, I'm gonna click edit, and instead of, notice it's picking E4. E4 is this amount. So instead of amount, I'm just gonna call it pre-solar. I could have changed it here, by the way, but it's okay. Let's just go with pre-solar, uh, and then hit OK. So I've got pre-solar, and then there's a trend line also. Whenever you're working with a lot of these numbers, it's always a good idea, to just select your chart, go to design, add chart element, and turn on the legend on top so that you know what's up, what's there. Okay, so we've got pre-solar data, and then there's a trend line in dotted what says a polynomial trend line. I would want to perhaps change some of that. So I will I will change the name on this, which means I can always go click on this trend line, go to this trend line option, and hit, and it says trendline name, right? So I could hit custom and call it a pre-solar trend line. All right, so let's just hit enter. Yeah, pre-solar trend line. So this is pre-solar data, this is a pre-solar trend line. This makes perfect sense now. The next and the important part is to bring in these two data points on the same chart. Again, I'm going to right click on this, select data, and add a new entry this time. Call it post solar. This would make more sense. Call it post solar, and fill in these two data points right here. Hit OK. Hit OK. There we are. We've got pre-solar data in blue, post-solar data in orange, pre-solar trend line showing up in dotted. I'm gonna go to my trend line and make sure I display the equation of the trend line right here. So there it is. Key takeaway, we could bring in trend lines, but the good part about trend lines is they quantify the relationship through an equation. What was previously just a bunch of numbers with no relationship between them as such can now be represented in a trend line capturing same information almost, but that information is now related through an equation which is quantifiable, and we could use this equation to make predictions, or replicate this trend for post solar, and so on. This is something we're going to do in the next um, video. So thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one.